It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brood Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. It is Tuesday, February 12th, 2019 at 7 a.m.
Is the rain over?
Yep, looks like it on the radar. Tennessee's being blessed with it today.
We have had our share.
You think?
Yeah. That's a good thing, though. I mean, kept the drought conditions away now.
I don't even have to update the drought map. I mean,
No.
you know, it's cleared off. So, yeah, the rain's moved over into Tennessee. And get to that here in a few minutes.
At least it's warm enough that it was raining, so I'm happy.
Can you imagine all that with cold weather?
Oh, that would have been terrible.
You know, I'm looking at the temperatures now. It ranges from 39 degrees here to minus 17. Minus 17 where my boys are at today.
They can have it.
They can have it.
Do you like the cold weather, Nikki?
No.
There you go.
I like the cold weather, so blah humbug.
I mean, it's not. I wish it was just like even, so it would just be warm and cold. But when it's just cold or just warm, I'm like, help me.
Me too.
Bring me to Florida or something.
There you go. Mom, she wants to go to Florida.
It's too cold to go jump in the river or the lake right now, you know, and that's what I like, is being able to go outside.
That's better than jumping in the sea.
Well, you know. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Welcome Down on the Corner program. Dale Hoffman, your host, along with Scooter Callis. Nikki's here to do the morning prayer here in just a minute. And first, I got to tell you about Brood Awakening Coffee, best coffee in town. As you heard in the introduction, there's 3 locations to serve you. We got Balmer Boulevard at 702. It's going to be kind of busy because all the kids going to school today. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, and then 62 East Plaza out by Anytime Fitness. Brood Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town. And so, if you're not drinking Brood Awakening, you're just drinking muddy water. What do you drink today?
I got some Sprite and some water.
Wow.
Yeah, I moved up.
Sprite and water.
It ain't smart water. That wasn't working.
Yeah, I noticed. Gave that up, huh?
I gave that up. Spending too much, and it's not helping.
Anyway, be sure to check out Brood Awakening Coffee. They've got mochas, lattes. They've got it all. They've got every flavor you can imagine. Chuckles over here likes the cinnamon rolls, too.
I love the cinnamon rolls.
Aren't those good?
Those are huge.
I got to get some more of those, man. Check them out, Brood Awakening Coffee. Appreciate Mike and his staff. They've been a sponsor for a long time with Down on the Corner program. So check them out. Brood Awakening Coffee, best coffee in town. Morning prayer is brought to you by Roller Funeral Home right here in Mountain Home, Arkansas. Across the state, 29 Roller Funeral Homes to serve you, 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect. And talk to Charlotte, or let's see, Charlotte, Bruce, Brad, anybody out there can...
Yep, get you squared away, get it lined
whether
up.
it's an emergency situation or a long-anticipated passing of a loved one, you know, either way, you know, compassion, loving, care, professionalism right there at Roller Funeral Home. Roller Funeral Home brings you morning prayer each and every day. Today we have Nikki from Mountain Home Christian Academy. She's going to be bringing our morning prayer. Now, the Mountain Home Christian Academy takes no government funding. They teach no Common Core. They're just off the bypass across from Mountain Home Baptist Church. You can call them at 424-6622 if you can help them financially. And now, Nikki, you ready for the prayer?
Yep.
Go right ahead.
Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for the many blessings that you've given us. Please help the sick and the poor. Please help everyone in the army and the police stations and anyone who's risked their lives for our country. Thank you for the privilege for a lot of people to go to school. Please help anyone who does not know you to see that you are the Lord. Jesus, in his name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Good
Morning
job.
prayer by Nikki from Mountain Home Christian Academy. If you can help the Christian Academy financially, call them today at 424-6622. How's school going this year?
Good.
What grade?
4th.
Oh, wow. What's
Fourth
your favorite
grade.
subject? What do you like? Math, science, reading? spell?
Math, science, and history.
Boy, you got 3 favorites. What's your favorite part of history? What have you studied in history?
My favorite story was probably about George Washington Carver.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So what's going on at Mountain Home Christian Academy? A lot of fun things?
Yeah.
Basketball
We're
going
doing
on?
Love in Action and Donuts with Dad is like today.
Really? It's going to be good. Mount Home Christian Academy.
Dance with Dad, is that what you said?
Donuts with Dad.
Oh, donuts with Dad. I thought you meant dance. I was like, oh, Dad's got to dance. Oh, okay. Well, I can deal with the
Quick,
donuts.
go enroll your kids at Mount Home Christian Academy. Get
Yeah,
a donut.
I get free donuts. What do you know?
Check them out right off the bypass across the Mount Home Baptist Church, Mount Home Christian Academy. And great education there, great staff, and appreciate the kids coming in and doing the morning prayer. I think we'll have another one on Thursday come in. And, we try to, when we schedule them into the year, it's middle of October to Christmas. And then after that long stretch, parents need a break. Try to get kids to school on time, let alone a TV studio by 6:55 in the morning. So appreciate
I love
parents
having them.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, appreciate Mount Home Christian Academy. Ding!
Of course, your phone is still on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Shall I
everybody
turn it
gets
off?
to hear your binging.
All right. Thanks, Nikki, for doing the morning prayer today. Mount Home Christian Academy. Give them a call at 424-6622. Morning weather brought to you by. Brace yourself. Ooh, he needs to tune that thing or
She could do a better job.
Can you do a trumpet?
Do a trumpet.
Dun, dun, dun.
See there?
Yeah, there you go. We just need to record hers.
That's the little red button. Morning weather brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the square of Mountain Home. I had the special yesterday.
Chicken fried
Oh,
steak.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
always
yeah.
a good one. That's
Yeah.
like the go-to one. I mean, when you
Oh,
don't
it's
know
good.
what you want, get a
Get
chicken fried
that.
steak. You just can't
People
go
came
wrong.
in at the table. I got my famous table by the gorilla right there.
Yeah.
And so a couple sat down. Well, I just don't know what I want. And I forget who the wife was right there. And she told me about the special. I said, well, is it good? And I said, yes.
Yes.
I said, okay, we'll take 2 of those.
You get it all the time.
Old Time Restaurant on the square of Mountain Home, Monday through Friday, 7 to 2, Saturday to 11. Best breakfast, best lunch in town. Special today.
Special for breakfast is 2 pancakes, 2 sausage, 2 eggs for $5.88. Can't beat it. And for lunch, we got Kimmy's homemade famous meatloaf.
Yep, meatloaf.
She makes a great meatloaf.
Yes,
Comes
she
with
does.
2 sides, roller cornbread for $6.88. You just can't beat it.
All right. Old Time Restaurant on the square at Mountain Home. They bring you morning weather each and every day. Right now we have 39 degrees in Mountain Home, 35 at Harrison. Hardy checks in at 50?
Lucky.
I reckon. 48 at Mountain View, Yellville at 40, Marshall checks in at 48, it's 39 at Calico Rock. Around the region, St. Louis at 39, Poplar Bluff at 50. That front must be between here and Hardy and Poplar Bluff.
Well, it ain't here.
No, that's quite obvious. And they're showing some showers here, I guess, at Poplar Bluff. Anyway, 150-mile difference between Poplar Bluff and St. Louis on Highway 67. I wish I had $1 for every time I went up and down that highway. 32 at Branson, 40 at West Plains, Watford City, North Dakota, minus 17. Whew, I got
they deserve
2
it.
boys, a daughter, and a grandson up there. My goodness.
They deserve it.
They can have it up there. On the national radar, you can see there's a little bit of shower activity still continuing in Missouri and North Arkansas. Most of the rain is in Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia, all the way up Indiana, Ohio. Then kind of a big lazy T right there. See how it crosses up there? From Wisconsin, Michigan, Northern Illinois, Iowa's getting it all the way back into the East Coast. And so we'll take a look at the Little Rock stop real quick. Excuse me. A little bit of shower activity around Jonesboro. That's going to be, let's see, I don't know what highway that'd be. That's off of 167. Going to be affecting Highway 63 and Interstate 555. Overall, no highways really wet right now. A little bit to the east of Mountain Home. Oh, let's see. I'm not seeing anything else. Interstate 40, 30, 49, 55, 555, clear at this time, 62, 412 east. You might hit a shower over in Sharp and Fulton counties, a very light shower there, but other than that, everything's clear. State of Missouri will hit the St. Louis stop. I said we'll hit the St. Louis stop. Come on, computer. There we go. A little bit south and east of St. Louis. Looks like my old hometown's getting a little bit of rain up there on I-64. I-70 Columbia to St. Louis, a little bit of shower activity. Then it picks up again between St. Louis and Vandalia, Illinois on I-70. Interstate 64 from St. Louis east to Mount Vernon's got a little bit of shower activity that's going to affect Belleville, Collinsville, Fairview Heights, Cahokia, Dupo, and places like that. I-55 coming in from Sykeston to Cape Girardeau on up into St. Louis. Well, that's probably where the most of the rain is at right now. I-44 Rolla to St. Louis. Of course, you got 100 miles there for that stretch of highway. You're going to have some shower activity there. And southwest Missouri, we have not much going on I-44. I-44 Joplin Springfield is in good shape, but Lebanon to Rolla, and then Rolla, of course, you just saw in St. Louis getting some shower. Kansas City, I-70 east to Columbia in good shape. I got to check Tennessee. Let's go to that Nashville Murfreesboro stop. What do you say? Ha, ha, ha. It's going to be raining. Wow. I-40 Jackson to Nashville, I-65 Nashville all the way down to Birmingham with showers. I-24 from Chattanooga all the way up into Murfreesboro back to Nashville. And boy, they've got a lot of shower activity going on. I'm glad I'm not having to drive I-40 I-24.
Well, that's what came through here. So.
Yeah, that's yesterday's shower over there. So all the way up to Bowling Green, Kentucky. You know, that's a nice little ride there from Paducah through Hopkinsville all the way down to Nashville. I've done that several times. Pretty good drive. Anyway, take a look at the forecast map. We do have just some minor flooding conditions to be aware of in south central, southeast, and northeast Arkansas. We'll check the Arkansas map real quick to double check that. I think we have some fog advisories too, don't we? Come on, computer. Speedy, my computer here is not wanting to do this. There we go. The light green is flood warnings. The flood advisory is the darker greens. And so we do have a little bit of dense fog. This is going to be, looks like the Black River area, Current River, Black River, and around the 11 Point rivers in northeast Arkansas. Let me go back. It'd be Spring, 11 Point, Current, and Black is where the fog advisories are. And so with all the rain we had yesterday, my goodness. Anyway. Not much going on there. 7-day forecast for today. High today is supposed to be 45 degrees, sunshine in the afternoon. Tonight, 29 and clear. Tomorrow, can you do a drum roll? There you go. Ta-da-ta-da. Wednesday, high of 60 degrees with clear skies and sunshine tomorrow. Same thing on Thursday, except we have a 20% chance of showers later in the afternoon and a low of about 38. Friday, 40% chance of rain, a high of 49. Low of 25 Friday night. 42 on Saturday.
What's that on Friday night? Was that a little snowflake sitting there?
I'm not saying a word. Bite your tongue.
The following week, this week's going to be great, but the following week it seems like it's snowing at night, raining in the day, almost all week long.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Oh, well. Once we get through February, you know, I mean, you never know. Anyway. We'll check the drought monitor, of course, with all the rain. We know there's no drought situations in Arkansas or Missouri. We'll change that real quick. iDrive Arkansas, need to bring this up. There's still quite a bit going on in the state with all the rain. Everywhere you see the little blue circled X is going to be some type of lane or road closure. This is Sebastian County. Arkansas State Road 252 is, they've got both lanes shut down there due to high water. Right over here in Hardy, Arkansas, still 175, Sharp County, high water, both lanes shut down here. Just northeast of Pocahontas, Highway 166, I know right where that's at, high water there, both lanes for 0.3 of a mile. So go to iDrive Arkansas, and before you travel anywhere in the northeast part of the state, you need to check this out. State of Missouri, there's a lot of high water, especially along 142. 142 was closed the other day around Moody, Missouri. And, well, just before you travel, go to MoDOT or iDrive Arkansas. If you go to iDrive Arkansas right here, any of the border states you can check out. Yeah, pull it down. There we go. So if you're going from Mountain Home up into Missouri, you hit that and boom, you're on the MoDOT map. But anywhere you see the little circle with the water right here, we've got some lane closure. I'm going to check this. I think it was Highway 142. There it is right there. Highway 142, you're in Bakersfield, Missouri on 101, and you know where 142 takes off down in the main part of Bakersfield, that's where that's closed about 2 or 3 miles east of Bakersfield, Missouri. So they still have some water across 142. Anyway, that's how it is. Check it out, MoDOT and iDrive Arkansas. Morning weather brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home.
You ever eat there? I hate to ask that.
Nope.
Nope. Why not? Do you ever go out to eat?
Yes.
Mom, you're depriving her.
That's Grandma and Grandpa.
I know. I thought Mom was still sitting over here. Grandma, you're the guys that are depriving her.
You can take care of that, can't you?
Yeah.
I feel like why your computer didn't want to work is because it's like the weather wanted it to be like a surprise, like they'll never know I'm coming for them.
See, it's like dun, dun, dun.
She did a good job, didn't she? And community calendar brought to you by Affordable Housing, 870-741-2883. There'll be a spaghetti dinner fundraiser. Looky here. You want to help me with this?
Yeah.
This is Mount Hope Christian Academy. Let's look at it here. Spaghetti fundraiser. And when is it?
Monday, March 4th.
And what time?
5:30 to 7:30 p.m.
And it's a what?
Drop-in.
There you go. And what this is a fundraiser to raise money for the Mountain Home Christian Academy Junior High to go to Kentucky to the Ark Encounter. You want to read those two lines right there?
This trip will be referred to reinforced to the knowledge that science may challenge, but God's word remains as truth.
Donations are accepted. It's going to be at Mountain Home Bible Church at 145 Pioneer Trail on March 4th. A fundraiser to help the kids go to the Ark Encounter in Kentucky. Another fundraiser coming up on February 22nd. This is Mountain Home High School's French Club. They're raising money to go to Quebec in 2020. It takes place on Friday, February 22nd from 4 to 7 at Century 21 Lemac Real Estate. Come on out and have a fun time there. Scooter, what you got?
And the Mountain Home Flyers Youth Wrestling Club is traveling to Russellville for their youth state tournament this weekend. They'll be wrestling all day to Saturday, so if you know any youth wrestlers, encourage them. I know we've got one that's with the Christian Academy that wrestles with us, but he will not be competing.
He broke his arm.
He broke his arm.
He was there last week.
Mason Ferris.
Well, I'd hate to see the other guy.
Ferris. He's done so well. I hate it. He got right up to the end of the season and breaks his arm, so he won't be able to do the state tournament, unfortunately. But
I feel so bad for him.
I know. I'm with you. He worked hard for that and then not have the chance, but he's a good kid. He'll bounce back.
He's in my class.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
What's going on with over there at Christian Academy? Anything coming up?
Love in Action. We might or might not. I don't know yet, but we are gonna have muffins with Mom.
Donuts with Dad and muffins with Mom.
That's good.
For Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Fun.
And Christian Academy is also with the father-daughter dance. So
coming up.
be ready to go and get your tickets for that. I think that's all.
That's about it.
You did all right.
Good.
I don't care what
She's
they
hired.
say. You did
Get her
all
a contract.
right.
Sign her.
You're hired.
Community calendar brought by Affordable Housing, 870-741-2883. Time for a break. Jamie Leach is here from First Step Baxter Regional Medical Center. Stick around. Be right back.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
It's that time of year again. Time to take a hard look at your Medicare health plan. If you're looking for a new plan or looking to renew your existing plan, now's the time to renew all your options. At Backo Insurance, we'll sit down with you and show you all the new choices and options, including $0 premium plans with low copays and dental, vision, and hearing benefits. Let us help take the confusion out of selecting a plan and find one catered to your needs. Contact Backo Insurance today, located at 351 East 9th Street, Suite B in Mountain Home.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Whether you're a professional lawnscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn & Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn & Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
You can't even count backwards.
I usually never start at 5.
Can I get a bottle of smart water here, please?
It wasn't working last time. What do you think it worked now?
We won't judge you.
Jamie's here for First Step. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
What's been going on? Well, you got a whole pile of notes here.
Yeah, I came with a few notes today because I didn't want to just ramble incessantly, which I probably will anyway. But let's see. First Step, really, we're just plugging along. We've had a very busy January, which is, I guess, good. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if that's good or bad, but hopefully we're getting people the help that they need, so that's positive. And I was going to talk maybe just a little bit about kind of an upcoming event. It's not just First Step, specific, but we are going to be a part of it, and it might be something that y'all have kind of heard of. The Chamber of Commerce has an initiative called Baxter County Forward. I don't know if y'all have heard of that. So basically, they sent out emails to, I don't know if it was just the chamber members, I guess it probably was, but kind of asking what they thought the biggest issues were in the community. And of course, the chamber is always focused on, building population and jobs and all that stuff. So anyway, drug abuse was the #1 concern, which doesn't surprise me. And so, anyway, I think there's, I forget, at least 7 or 8 different groups that focus on different things. So like drug abuse, tourism, all these different things. So my group, obviously drug abuse. So we're going to have, we're still in the planning phases. So I kind of wish I would have, known a little bit more for today. But we are going to have an upcoming event that we're still planning. But on February 28th, and I don't know the time yet, but the chamber is going to be hosting a Baxter County Forward community just unveiling that to the to the community, just kind of giving them an idea of what each group is going to be working on, and it's the members of the group, and then like I said, it's open to the public. So anybody that's interested in knowing more about of course for me, the drug abuse, specific ways people can help and get involved in the community, and it doesn't matter what type of business you're in or anything, because we have people in the drug abuse group that literally have the most diverse backgrounds, like from banking to people that have had history of abuse, just anybody. So if you're interested at all and want to try and get plugged into the community, then please be on the lookout for February 28th. I guess the chamber will post the time, of course, but just something that we can do.
Jeff and Angela, have them come in sometime.
Yeah, we hadn't had them
in a little while. They were up in St. Louis or Chicago.
Oh yeah,
and they've won some award for the best booth.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I saw it online. I haven't talked to her in a while, but.
Probably with that virtual reality deal too. Yeah. That was
have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen. I mean, I know I didn't have a chance to look at it yet.
I haven't seen it, but I did see their picture of them getting the award, and they had the virtual reality thing sitting on their chest. So yeah, I'm sure it had a lot to do with that, which is really cool.
Well, I know at the chamber banquet, not this recent one, but the one the year before, they kind of unveiled it, and they showed kind of like a clip of it, So that's all I've seen so far. But it was really cool. I mean, it was good, So I think something like that's awesome. If you can just put someone in the moment, that's great. So.
But can you imagine some of those? I've just imagined they had some drone shots over the rivers and lakes and mountains and stuff.
It's got to be beautiful.
Oh yeah.
It is. Wow.
Because I think, unfortunately, some people do have skewed view of Arkansas is like, oh, Arkansas, you know.
Outhouses and barefoot people. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, hillbillies, yeah.
When we moved here, that's pretty much what my family was like. Well, you're going where? So, so if you can see all that we have to offer, that is helpful.
We're actually a little bit. We do have light bulbs up here. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, we've really advanced indoor plumbing. It's very advanced. So,
but I tell you what, I've had family when I was a kid living just outside of St. Louis. We'd go visit my dad's aunt and uncle on the state line. They're on the Missouri side on Highway 67. They had an outhouse.
Yeah, right.
They had an outhouse.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sure there's still quite a few around. It wouldn't be too hard to find, but yeah. So
anyway, with First Step. I mean, sometimes do you think that you've got a great program here to help folks, but with the epidemic, and I think Baxter County, Baxter, Marion, Fulton, Stone, there's some issues here.
Oh yeah, there's.
And like you say with the Chamber of Commerce, the big thing is the drug abuse problem. What causes this? I mean, has there been any type of psychological analysis on this, on why people are turning to this stuff?
There's a lot. I think, yes, I do think economics plays a part in it. There's a lot of thought and study on that, and I actually was just watching something last night that reminds me of your question. So there was a documentary done, I don't know if y'all heard of it, it's called Meth Storm. It was done like in, I can't remember the county. I want to say Van Buren or something. It's in that area. But it kind of highlights the part of the reason for the addiction being economic, because it's kind of just like there's very poor communities. There's really not much at all in the way of jobs. There's not, public transportation. And it just kind of, I haven't seen the full documentary, but it's very, kind of sad but true. I mean, I think you're going to find that pretty common throughout the state. But it does. One of the gentlemen in particular in the documentary, I think within the documentary, he was like in and out of jail like 3 or 4 times, and he would try and get out and kind of try to do better, but there wasn't a lot of treatment available, and then he couldn't really get a steady job, and it just kind of like shows that is at least an aspect of it,
So when he tries to get the job, and they know the background of the substance abuse,
right?
So he's not going to get something real stable.
Sure.
That's going to be kind of flimsy. But then his work habits may have been affected by the drugs. So you can see, we'll pay you $8.50 an hour.
Right.
I don't know what the minimum wage is right now with the new law coming in, but there's a sense of hopelessness. Like I'm never going to get ahead.
Yeah. It
what I'm
is
saying?
Absolutely, and sometimes the education level isn't that high, and so you kind of couple that with the addiction, with the poverty, and it really can be a really bad cycle. I don't think it's an excuse on one hand, because I think we can all better ourselves, but you certainly have to look at that as a issue and something that as a community that we need to be focused on if we really want to get out from under the issue, or at least make a lot of headway in that direction. So,
but I mean, First Step at Baxter Regional is there to help, but yet how do you get people to admit, hey, I've got this problem? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's always going to be an issue. Especially, not especially in the small town, but certainly you can imagine coming to the hospital and, it's a small town and you're probably going to know somebody and that kind of thing. So I think especially when we have folks that are addicted, I'm not going to use the word addicted, because there's a little bit of a difference in dependent and addicted. So by definition, and I'm not going to get this exactly right, but dependent, like say, you had a surgery and you started taking pain medication, and you found that you have become physically dependent on the pain medication, meaning when you try and stop, you're going to have some physical withdrawal symptoms. That is being dependent on something, and that's where First Step can help. That's one situation where we can help.
So a dependency is different from an addiction.
Yeah, and an addiction is more defined by starting to engage in risky behavior and doing things that you would not normally do in order to obtain a substance. So that's kind of where the addiction is different than the dependence. A lot of people that are not, maybe you want to call your typical addict, again, maybe someone with a surgery or whatever, they really don't like if you use the word addiction or addict, and I understand that, and I mean, I'm not about labels anyway, it doesn't matter, but they've never lived that kind of life. They're not a drug seeker. They're not selling everything they have. They're not trying to, you know, live a life of crime. They're just becoming physically dependent, and they know when they try and stop, they're having a lot of trouble. That's a little bit of a different look than your, you know, person that's been using
we've
forever.
Even talked, you know, Sheriff Montgomery comes in here, and I've even asked the governor a couple of times about this, you know, the repeat offenders, because, okay, they're chasing the high.
Absolutely.
You know, and so, well, he needs $1,000 for another hit, which means breaking into somebody's house and stealing the jewelry, taking it down to the pawn shop and trying to get some money. So it's so controlling.
It's so controlling. So, and you know, I'm not a medical expert, but I do know that when you use, and I'm just going to use opiates and meth as two examples. So, I do know that in your brain, you know, you have, they send signals are sent in your, you know, in your brain, and so you have, say you have pain, you know, so your pain signals are sent, you know, to these, to the transmitters, and so when you have your regular pain that you feel, of course. So let's say you throw some opiates in the mix or some painkillers in the mix. Your pain doesn't stop. You still have the pain, but it blocks it. It blocks those receptors, okay, from the pain. So when you do that long enough, what happens is, well, let me back up a little bit. So in addition to the synthetic painkillers that you're using, your body creates a natural painkiller, which are called endorphins. We've all heard of that. So endorphins are your body's natural defense. So you've got your endorphins, you've got your, you know, opiates. Well, what happens in your brain is when you continue to use these opiates, your brain kind of goes, hey, we're producing too much endorphins. We're working too hard. We don't need to be doing this. So it starts to cut back on your endorphins. So over time, it gets so bad that you're literally almost not producing any. And so you can imagine when you try to quit, and this is the same for meth too, you plummet as far as, you know, depression and any kind of natural pain relief that you would normally have. So kind of going with what you're saying, but you become so desperate, so you don't want to go through the physical illness of withdrawal, and you've also got that psychological dependence. And who wants to be, I mean, a normal, you know, down day would be here, but when you've been using a substance for so long that's just flooding your brain, like with meth, it's just flooding it with these endorphins, and you take that away, you're like way below what an average person would be, and you're so miserable that a lot of people, yes, they're willing to do things that are just very extreme to the average person, you know, to get feeling better.
Visit with Jamie Leach, First Step Baxter Regional Medical Center, 7:32, almost 7:33. It's time for a break. Be right back.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Coming up on 7:35, Jamie Leach is here from First Step, Baxter Regional Medical Center. Scooter, let's throw this up on the screen if we can. You can go to Baxter Regional Medical Center and First Step Alcohol Pain Medication Detox. It gives you all the information here. And, BRMC is coming up with all kinds of new programs and just ways of helping people. And this is something that folks can take advantage of. How can we get over the shamefulness of this? He's like, oh, hey, Joe, what are you doing at the hospital? Oh, well, I'm addicted to this and this.
Right. We won't make you wear like a sign or anything, I promise.
Have a bumper sticker,
Yeah. Well, then it's fair because I'm quite sure I would feel that way if I was in someone's shoes. So, but to put a little bit of, people's mind at ease, well, I guess I should just start a little bit with talking about the process of coming through First Step, and then I can explain kind of the confidentiality part as well. So, as we've been discussing, and I've been on here before, but if you haven't watched before or not real sure what First Step does, like Dale said, it's a drug and alcohol detox, which basically means we're a medical intervention. So we're not behavioral health, we're not counseling and that kind of piece. We're just the medical piece. And so, with opiates or with alcohol or with benzos, if you stop abruptly, oftentimes people have withdrawal symptoms. They can be, some of them are mild and people can, sort through that on their own, but certainly they can be dangerous and even life-threatening. So if that's something that you're dealing with or know someone that's dealing with, please have them give us a call. We start with the phone screening, and that's kind of where I'd like to start, with the confidentiality piece. So we're a small office. It's just two of us in the office, and so of course we're bound by HIPAA, and not only that, but just as on a personal level, we're keeping all of your information confidential. When you call to get information, if you just want to call and get info, you're not sure what you want to do yet, that's fine. You don't even have to really tell me your name if you just want to know what your options are. So once we go through the screening process over the phone, then we're determining, okay, do you meet criteria as far as do you have the physical withdrawal symptoms? Can we help you, and also we want to make sure you have an aftercare plan in place. So we don't want to go, hey, come in for 3 nights in the hospital and we'll have you feeling better, and then you're just booted out and expected to just be able to cope with all the other things. Yeah, and right back into your same environment with the same people, and it's a recipe for disaster. So you have to have some kind of supports in place for when you leave. That might be rehab, that might be counseling, that might be support groups, that might be all of those things, your church. And we'll help you, help walk you through that. We can certainly give you suggestions of places that might be helpful to you. And then from there, once we kind of get your plan in place, we'll arrange a day and time for you to come in. We can usually do that relatively quickly, usually within a day, as long as you can get your aftercare plan in place. So when you come in, yes, you're coming in the hospital. Yes, you might see some people but you'll come in the admissions area like any other patient. So, if you've been in the hospital before and you've walked by admissions, there's a ton of people in there. You might see someone but you have no idea what they're there for. They could be there to get lab work done. They could be there for surgery, check-in. I mean, it's such a variety of things. And so you're just going to blend into the population like anyone else. Nobody knows except the few people that are handling your file what you're there for. We take you up to your room. We get you settled in. You have a private room. So you got your own bathroom. You got a TV. We can put you in as a confidential patient. So if anyone was to call the hospital or walk by your room, they don't have your name. They don't know any of that information. So really, the only people that you're trusting the information to is the First Step office, and then the few people that are going to have their hands-on care, like of course the doctors and the nursing staff. So we really try to keep that as absolutely private as possible. Sometimes we have people come in from out of town to take advantage of that because they don't know people here. So the kind of flip side of that too works well. But then from, when you leave our doors, or when you're with us, we give you some medication to help you through your withdrawal symptoms. So a lot of times people are just really sick, and so you're under a doctor's care. We've got great hospitalists, so you're just like any other patient. You're not in like a weird unit or like separated or on lockdown or anything. It's all voluntary. We make sure that you're safely withdrawing. We give you medications that make it easier, make you a little bit more tolerable. And once you're through those withdrawal symptoms, usually 3 nights, sometimes it's extended, then you go into, like I said, your aftercare, and we'll make sure you have that plan arranged to where hopefully it's kind of a seamless transition. You go straight from us to the next part of your plan.
Wow.
So we do try and think about confidentiality. We do try and think about the big picture. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah. And there's really nothing to be embarrassed about, but I do know that there is some shame or guilt or things that go along with that. And, you know, I always say this, but I really mean this. The only thing that would be a real shame would be to continue that way, worried about what somebody else thinks instead of taking control of your life, because it's your life and you're the one that has to live it. You're the one that the family has to live with it. And so I say, go for it. You know, I mean, do it. We'll help you. We'll guide you through it. And I do not think you'll regret it.
Do I want to stay like this, or do I want to get better? Because it's all about getting better.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people, when they really stop and think, no matter how long they've been using or whatever, everybody at some point in their life had some hopes and dreams and aspirations, you know. And you know, when you're in the middle of an addiction, you get so far from that, and your vision gets so skewed of kind of reality and things. And I think if you can take a little time out and just really kind of try and get back to what you want out of life, and to know that it's possible. Like, there's so many, you know, as much as we talk about how horrible it is, and it is, there is a lot of success stories, and that's something I hope we really can focus on.
You more than 95%?
Well, you know, our success rate, we can only really look at the medical aspect. So as far as medically stabilizing people, 100%.
Good.
You know, we don't ever let anyone leave until they are. So, you know, they're definitely 100% success rate as far as the medical part. We don't always know how people complete their treatment after they leave. Some people let us know and send us referrals, and that's always so exciting and encouraging when they call and tell us how they're doing. But we do know that we have helped. I know that we have given people the best opportunity to get help, because we've made sure they have a plan in place that's reasonable for them, that meets their criteria and their timeline and affordability. And so from that point, it's up to them to take it and kind of run with it.
Well, you know, back in 2005, I was at BRMC, had a little incident, and but I had did you know I had a stroke back in 2005?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I was totally paralyzed left side, but here's the kicker.
Oh, wait, I think you mentioned that. Yeah, I do remember.
Because, you know, when, like Jamie was saying, you know, follow the procedures, and then the aftermath, if you do what they say. I can't say enough good things about the therapy, OT and PT there at the hospital.
Good.
And they said, do this, do it.
Right.
I'm pain-free and I'm pill-free.
Awesome. See? That's so great, though. That's so great.
I mean, you know, who needs pain medicines because of a stroke? But, I mean, you know, it happened. I moved on.
Right.
But the thing is, you know, you've got the programs available. Take advantage of them.
There are. And there's, you know, sometimes I complain because I think as a state we don't have enough treatment. And I still would probably say that that's true. But there are enough options out there that if you really do want to get help, you really can. I mean, I feel confident of that. And usually when you're really ready to get help, I mean, you've really made up your mind. It's not somebody pushing you to do it and kind of forcing you and guilting you into it. When you're really ready, you're pretty open to doing whatever it takes to get there.
I heard that. I mean,
there's a lot of faith-based treatment.
Sure.
I don't want to call them facilities, I guess, but, you know, faith-based places. Services. We know about Care Center locally, things like that. There's a lot of those throughout the state that have really kind of come in and filled that gap where some of the government-funded places have not really covered everything. So that really opens up a new window of treatment options, too, which I'm, you know, very grateful for that.
So how can we get more programs like First Step, Mountain View, Heber Springs, Conway, Fort Smith, El Dorado, West Memphis?
Well,
it's going to be more prevalent in the bigger cities with the addiction.
Yes, yes, definitely, and that's what's so strange. Like, really, First Step is really unique because there's, I mean, literally, I only know of maybe a handful of full medical detox like we do in the whole state.
Really?
And so You would think with the epidemic being what it is that there would be more, and I think there's a lot of grant money that's been put out there for opiate specific treatment. Please keep in mind, as big of a deal as opiates are, there are so many other things that are still really they're the same, the meth, the alcohol. So I'm glad we're focusing on the opiates on one hand, and you have to take the money when you have it and use it for what you have to use it for, and that's great. So I know, and I'm not going to speak too much on this because I'm not educated on it enough, but I know Baxter Regional and some other facilities are part of working on a grant for some more opiate specific treatment in different areas. So I think that's probably going to be quite a few months down the line when that comes to fruition, and hopefully I'll know more about that and can come back at some point and tell you about that. But I do think there's a push for that. I know that there's a lack of treatment throughout the state and probably nationally. So
come on with 746, more with Jamie Leach, First Step Baxter Regional Medical Center right after this. Be right back.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment, their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrubs stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands including Carhartt, Cherokee, and Grey's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Clogs, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tag retractable, compression socks, paramedic BDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing, embroidery, as well as minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop. Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire's Barbershop today, a unique gentleman barbershop. Get back in style from a former celebrity hairstylist and a licensed barber instructor who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire's Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 848 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today. Your car is a member of the family. It takes you where you need to go, and it makes sure you are safe at all times. When a wreck or accident happens, trust the only place that will treat you and your vehicle like a person, not a number. From collision repair and windshield replacement to paintless dent repair and hail damage removal, Dent Boys can cover all your automotive repair needs and make sure you are satisfied every step of the way. Call or visit the professionals at Dent Boys today and see the Dent Boys difference.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the pie lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
It's almost 7:49, finishing out the program with Jamie Leach of First Step Baxter Regional Medical Center. And I want to say on camera, thank you for being part of the addictions, bullying, and suicide video we did. It was broadcast on the 30th. We had 5,900 views so far on Facebook. And so appreciate your part on that.
Thank you. I was more than happy to be a part of it, and I think you did an excellent job.
Thank you.
It's heartbreaking, really. It was hard to watch those parents grieving like that, but hopefully, you know, we were just saying, hopefully some younger kids, you know, teenagers will watch that too and just kind of really be more aware of the consequences of their actions and things that they say. I know that a lot of times young people, they don't I mean, they don't mean it. They don't realize how deep it can really go and hurt people. So I think that's real important to bring that to light.
Well, and the same thing true with young people in your situation with First Step. I was watching, what was I watching last night? Was it the national news? But anyway, the e-cigarettes are actually causing more issues with younger people getting involved. Well, if I'm going to smoke this, I might as well have a cigarette.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know as much about the tobacco topic, but as much as you probably do, I see it in the news a lot, and it's huge. I mean, and no wonder, because like the vaping and the flavors, and I mean, I could definitely see where a young person would be attracted to that. And when I was in school many moons ago, people smoked in the bathroom and all that, and it was harder to hide that because, it's like billowing smoke coming out when you walk out of the bathroom. And so now, the vaping is a lot easier, and it's smaller. They have those little things that look like the little flash drives and those jewels or whatever. And so, yeah, I think it's definitely geared towards a young generation, which is a shame. But.
Well, when I was in high school here, we had nicotine ravine.
Oh, is that what he called it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They could smoke. Yeah. Right.
It's right there, right behind the football field where the road turns. You get the low water bridge. Just up that area was nicotine ravine.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, it was legal in high school.
It's almost better to well, I'm not going to go there. It's almost better to have if they're going to do it. I mean, I don't know. I'd rather not have it in the school.
The teachers and the kids are out there smoking along.
Right,
yeah,
I bet.
That's a nicotine ravine. That was at Mount High School. Because that was in the 70s. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, even way before that, like my grandmother is an example, and she passed away largely due to COPD from smoking, and she smoked from a very young age, but then it was very popular, and it wasn't regarded as a health issue, and now at least we know better.
You look at the post World War II movies from say 1948 to 1953. They've got the martini in one hand and the cigarette in the other, and they're wearing a tuxedo. That was the social thing.
And the doctors would smoke in the hospitals. Isn't that the crazy? Can you even imagine? Like, oh my gosh.
My health times have changed.
Times have changed. That is for sure. Yeah. And I think one thing now, I would just like to say one thing I think our community is doing a really good job of, and especially the school system, I really feel like they're doing all that they can to really educate our youth at a younger age, because when I was in school, it was kind of like drugs are bad, don't do drugs.
Right.
And that was kind of it. Like, I mean, I don't remember really knowing a lot about it, which almost fuels a young person's curiosity.
Exactly.
And it was kind of like hush hush. So now it's very open. It's very talked about. I know they're doing some programs about meth as young as 5th grade, which I do not think is too young at all.
Is the Rotary doing the Don't Meth?
Yeah, Don't Meth with us. Yeah. And I have not seen that firsthand. I'd like to.
Oh my goodness, I saw the pictures.
But see, I think that's necessary, because that's the truth. That is what the truth of it is.
There's pictures of people where the flesh is just caked off of their arms. It's unbelievable.
And still, you continue to use in that state of mind. I mean, it just goes to show what a strong hold it has, obviously. So,
but years ago, I was working at an auto parts store, and I sold a gallon of battery acid and a case of carburetor cleaner. Well, first thing is, when you buy a new battery for your car, the acid is already in there. Now they're trying to make the transition to non-sulfuric acid batteries, and that's why the prices are going up. But when you have the standard car battery and it's already got the acid in, you can put water in there, but if you put water and then acid, the acid will come off the top of the water. So really, when they say just add water to the battery, you don't need a gallon of battery acid. Even if you buy a dry battery, you have to add acid. It'll take maybe a quart to 2 quarts. But this guy came in and bought a gallon of battery acid and a case of carburetor cleaner. Now, carburetor cleaner would probably peel the paint off of the legs of the tripods.
Oh man, I bet.
I've had it in my eyes. I've had it on my skin. It burns.
Yeah.
So I bumped into a policeman. I said, "Why would they want that?" It was a meth lab.
You're right.
Yeah. They're snorting that stuff?
Or worse.
I dropped a drop on my jeans and it ate the jeans away, and they're snorting this stuff? I mean, come on, battery acid. You've had battery acid on you. You know how bad that stuff burns.
Not to mention the level of genius of people that are that are doing that, not so high on the smart scale.
When Joe Pendergrass was filming for the program, Drano, other type of cleaners, and now you got the kids eating Tide Pods.
Right.
I mean, laundry detergent. Come on,
It's shocking. It sounds so ridiculous, when you look at it. But I guess, being young people, you're so impressionable. And so.
What are they looking for?
Something that honestly, something that they don't realize at all what they're getting into most of the time.
I guess.
I think they really don't. They haven't experienced it long enough to really get the downside of it. I think that's part of the problem, And they're kids. That's normal, but when you live longer and you look at people and you've seen their whole life get thrown away and all this stuff, you can go, wow, that's a bad idea. But when you're a kid, it's like, you think you're invincible. I'm sure we all kind of did.
Yeah.
So I think that's, I hope that the education is at least going to make a dent in it, the realistic education.
But how do we get them to listen to that?
That is the golden question of the year. I think, parental reinforcement is good. Open conversations about it are good. Of course, we all know some kids aren't going to get that at home, So
that's true. That's true.
But I think we're doing, as a community, I really think we're doing a lot. The Baxter County Forward Initiative, the schools, First Step, Care Center, the other counseling places in the area that can focus on addiction. So I think we're really, law enforcement. I think at the end of the day, of course, a lot of it falls to personal responsibility and decisions, and that's something
that's a big one right there.
Always going to be, that's what it boils down to, is just making good decisions. Hopefully, someone that's made a bad decision will pull back sooner than later, but a lot of times we see that people have to really get, burn the candle at both ends so they can really get to the point of wanting help.
Wow. Sometimes, I just think we're beating our head on a brick wall sometimes, And so we've talked, when the governor was here back in September of last year, we mentioned this off camera, just why do we do this? We've got prisons are full, and like John Montgomery said, you can't arrest people all the time due to addiction.
Right.
There's got to be some type of help.
There's got to be treatment.
There's got to be something. And I'm sure First Step, you've got a limited amount of space. I mean, you couldn't take 150 people at a time.
Right, right. Yeah, exactly. And we, and there's definitely more than that would meet, that we could. But again, it really comes down to wanting it, because, like I told y'all before, we get calls from parents and spouses, and I feel for them because I've been in that situation with my family, and I know how badly you want someone to get help, and you just don't understand why they don't see it.
Right.
But until they're ready to make the phone call and go through the steps, you just pray and give them the information, and when they know it's there, so they have to reach out and take it. But I do think, like I said before, there are a lot of success stories, and I think that's another thing that we really need to highlight, because if you're in addiction and you're feeling so low and so depressed and so stuck in it, you need to really be able to see how many people have come out the other side and they're doing really well. So I think that should be a real encouragement for people. And again, that's something I didn't really see when I was young growing up. So we're going to try and really look at that through I know the school is going to have an upcoming event, the school system, in the spring, that's going to highlight a lot of student success stories. And then again, Baxter County Forward, we're going to really push through that initiative to also highlight some of the success stories, not just for youth, but also into adulthood as well.
Final minute, final thoughts.
Final thoughts, I guess, just from a personal perspective. If you're listening to this and you're struggling, I just think about all the wasted potential, because someone out there, you're made for more than the life that you're living in right now. You're a special, unique creation, and there is plenty of time and there's plenty of ways to get this turned around. So please call if we can help at all. And I'll say the number again, 870-508-7590. Please call. Let's just talk. I'd be more than happy to tell you what kind of options are out there.
Wow. First Step, Baxter Regional Medical Center. Thanks to Jamie for being here. Scott, got anything? I hear the phone ringing again.
Maybe it's someone calling for First Up.
What's that?
Maybe it's someone calling about First Up.
There you go.
These phones are
Wishful
turned
thinking.
off.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks to Jamie Leach for being here. Baxter Regional Medical Center. First Step. Once again, 870-508-7590. Check them out on the website. Time to go. See you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.